Hello everyone, good morning. So today we are going to start the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 24th of November 2021. So let us quickly see the important topics that I have taken for today's discussion. So today we are going to cover these topics one by one. First of all, we are going to cover the first topic, which is countries must brace of future food shocks. It was said by the Food and Agricultural Organization. Alright, so it was there in page number 11 in the Hindu newspaper today. Then we will understand about glaciers changed track 20,000 years ago. Okay, so this topic is important for geography as well as like under environment and ecology. It was there in page number 10 in the Hindu newspaper. Then we will understand about an international relations topic, which is transition troubles. Okay, so we are going to understand about recent developments in one of the countries related to democratic upsurge. Okay, or like the democracy has been toppled over there. Then we are going to talk about another topic, which is coups upend West Asia's nascent democracies. Okay, so this topic is also a part of international relations. It was there in page number 6. And then we are going to talk about this particular topic, which is the United Nations. Okay, this is not US, this is UN. Okay, UN raises 600 million for Afghan aid. Okay, so this is important for facts for prelims. It was there in page number 11. So let us quickly begin the topics for the day. Okay, all right. So this is the first topic for the day, and this topic says countries must brace for future food shocks, FAO. All right. So the thing is, the Food and Agriculture Organization is a specialized organization of the United Nations organization. All right. So Food and Agricultural Organization is a special agency of the United Nations organization. So this particular organization has recently said that like countries must prepare, okay, countries must prepare themselves for food shocks. Okay, why should, okay, Siva has something to ask, no issues. Voice blurring to mics are on. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Okay, it is clear, right? So the voice was blurring from the beginning. Okay, all right. So Siva, in that case, so I'll be taking 2-3 more minutes, and then I'm going to start. Just a minute. Okay, sir. Live है हमें YouTube में, ठीक है? Okay. So today I'm going to start from the beginning again. Okay. So hello everyone, good morning. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 24th of November 2021. And for today's discussion, I have taken these topics one by one. So we are going to cover these topics. The first topic is important under like food security and international organizations topic. It says countries must brace for future food shocks. It was said by the Food and Agriculture Organization. Okay, it was there in page number 11 in Delhi edition of the Hindu. Then we are going to understand about glaciers changed track 20,000 years ago. Okay, so this topic is important under geography and environment and ecology section. Okay, so this was there in page number 10. Then we are going to look into another topic, which is transition troubles. Okay, so this topic is important under international relations, and it was there in page number 6. And after then we are going to look into another topic that says like coups upend West Asia's nascent democracies. Okay, so this topic is important under international relations, and it was there in page number 6. And after then we are going to cover this topic that says the United Nations. Okay, this is UN raises 600 million for Afghan aid. Okay, so this is important, for prelims examination we will understand how. All right, so let us quickly look into these topics one by one. Okay, the first topic says countries must brace for future food shocks. So this is a kind of cautionary note by the Food and Agricultural Organization. Because the Food and Agricultural Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations organization, this particular organization keeps a track of how the food security is being tackled around the world. All right. So as per the Food and Agricultural Organization, 3 billion people around the world, could not afford healthy diet for themselves, okay, during the COVID-19. And it says like another 1 million people are, okay, another 1 billion people are on the verge of, facing troubles related to food security. So this is an important statement. It says that according to the observation of the Food and Agricultural Organization, the world is going to face, food insecurity. So food security will be under threat. Why? Because the thing is, the earning potential of people reduces when there is any kind of shock, like, COVID-19 and all. So it has warned the world that, the countries must be prepared for, another, some kind of food shortages. So food shocks can be, seen in the recent future for another billion people. Okay. So these statements given by such global agencies becomes important. Why it becomes important? It becomes important because, these agencies have insights for the future, because they keep on tracking the data, they keep on analyzing the trend around the world related to food security. All right. So this is the thing. Now if we talk about Food and Agriculture Organization, so FAO is a specialized agency of the United Nations. The UN system, which is also unofficially known as UN family, is made of the UN itself and a series of programs, funds, specialized agencies, all with their own leadership and budget. Okay. So what are specialized agencies under the United Nations? They are independent international organizations funded by both voluntary and assessed contributions. All right. Then when we talk about United Nations organization, it has some, principal organs, or it has some main bodies. So what are the main bodies of the United Nations? The main bodies of the United Nations constitute the UN General Assembly. It also constitutes the UN Security Council. It constitutes the Economic and Social Council. Then we have the Trusteeship Council. We have the International Court of Justice and the United Nations Secretariat. So these are the main bodies of the United Nations organization. These 6 are the main bodies. Okay. So all these were established under the UN Charter when the organization was, founded in 1945. So it is important for you to understand that food security can be an issue for the world. Okay. So we may expect some question in the mains examination in GS paper 3. Okay, under food security we may expect a question, and then you can cite some examples of reports and the insights given by such agencies like Food and Agriculture Organization. And at the same time, it is important for you to remember the name of the main bodies or principal organs of the United Nations system. All right. So with this, now let us move to the next topic for the day. This is the second topic for the day, and this is an important topic again. Okay. Why it is important? Because it has various subtopics connected with it. It says Glacier changed track 20,000 years ago. Okay. So scientists say it fused into an adjacent glacier in present day Pithoragarh. All right. So now what has happened? There was an article in the Hindu newspaper. It says glaciers, okay, change track, means glaciers are, those ice bodies, ice covered bodies, that move very slowly. So around 20,000 years ago, there was a glacier having a length of 5 kilometers. That particular glacier changed its track. And later on, in present day Pithoragarh, so a valley was created by that particular glacier. And this, this study was conducted by this particular institute, which is known as Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology. a Department of Science and Technology Institute. Okay, so it was released by, this particular report was released by Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, a Department of Science and Technology Institute, and this is one of the institute, you know, that keeps on coming with latest information related to, you know, Himalayan ecology. Okay, then what was the reason for the change in the track or change in the course of the glacier? Okay, so they have cited two reasons. One of the reason is climate change. Okay, one of the reasons cited by this particular report is climate change, and another reason is tectonic movement. Okay, so like they cite two reasons, climate change and tectonic movement. So here we come across this particular word, tectonic movement. Okay, as you know, like if you read the geography, so under geography, you know, if you are reading the like, you know, geology section, or like if you are talking about, you know, physiography of the earth, all right, so you study about tectonic like tectonic plate theory. So this particular theory was given by Harry Hess, but like the beginning was started by a person which is known as Alfred Wegener. He had given the concept of continental drift theory. Okay, so that was the beginning in this particular direction for the development of plate tectonic theory. Okay, so this particular study, which was conducted by the Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, okay, this study adds evidence to the inherent instability of the Himalayan region, among the youngest mountain ranges in the world, due to which the underlying tectonic plates that support it are not stable but are like jittery and frequently trigger earthquakes and landslides. So as you know, like Himalayas are one of the youngest mountains in the world, and still height of the Himalaya is, you know, increasing. Why? Because like we have convergent plate boundary over there. Okay, so when we talk about convergent plate boundary, divergent plate boundary, or transform plate boundary, these are the concepts you know, that are part of this plate tectonic theory. So we will understand about plate tectonic theory, and before that we are going to look into, you know, some information related to Himalayas. All right, so Himalayas can be broadly divided. Broadly means like in a basic category we can divide Himalayas into, you know, Karakoram range, then Western Himalayas, this is Karakoram range, this is Western Himalayas, this is Central Himalayas, and this is Eastern Himalaya. Okay, so the Himalayan range can be categorized broadly into 4 different regions. If you delve into deeper, right, so you will have further subdivisions in Himalaya as well. So there are some important, you know, reasons. Okay, there are some important reasons that you should remember the name, you should remember the location, so that like if a chronology based question comes, like to locate where a particular, you know, range is located in the Himalayan, you know, mountain system, then you should be able to answer such questions. One of the thing is Karakoram range. Okay, so where is Karakoram range located? This is a place, this is Karakoram range. You see this line, you know, this is Karakoram range. Then B is Ladakh, this is B, this is Ladakh range. All right, then we have Zaskar mountains, then we have, you know, Kailash. So where is Kailash? This is Kailash, D. Okay, then we have, you know, Great Himalaya. So this is Great Himalaya, E. Lesser Himalaya, this is, you know, Lesser Himalaya. Then we have Sivalik. Okay, G is Sivalik. So these are the locations. You can, you know, practice on your own in your home. You can pause this particular video to learn more about it. Then let us quickly look into some other, you know, relevant information related to this. So since we have discussed about plate tectonic theory, and we have discussed that like, you know, the origin or development of plate tectonic theory started with the Alfred Wegener's, you know, concept of this particular thing, I mean continental drift theory. Okay, so continental drift theory was one of the earliest theories in this particular direction. Later on, Harry has given the concept of plate tectonic theory. So what does plate tectonic theory says? It says that like, you know, the the internal geology of the earth. Okay, so like it is divided into various plates. Some of the plates are major plates, other plates are minor plates, and these plates are continuously moving, because of the movement of magma, I mean like inside the earth, in the mantle. Okay, so inside the mantle the things are not very stable, so things are continuously moving, and because of that particular flow of current, okay, because of that particular flow of current, the plates are also moving. All right, so plates move at a very relatively slow pace. Okay, some of the bigger plates are known as major plates, and smaller plates are known as minor plates. So as of now, okay, there are 7 major plates. What are those 7 major plates? If we talk about this one, Pacific plate, okay, is a major plate. This is the Pacific plate. Then we have North American plate. This is another major plate. Let us number. North American plate is a major plate. Then South American plate is a major plate. Pacific plate is a major plate. Then we have African plate. Okay, African plate. It is a major plate. Then we have Eurasian plate. Okay, we have Australian plate, and we have Antarctic plate. So these are the plates that are major plates, and apart from this, like, we also have some minor plates. What are those minor plates? Like if we talk about Philippine plate, it is a minor plate. If we talk about Indian plate, it is a minor plate. Okay, if we talk about Nazca plate, it is minor plate. Caribbean plate, Cocos plate, and the Juan de Fuca plate. All right, so these are the minor plates. So I have already told you what are the major plates and what are minor plates. So the thing is, if you read different texts, so like the name and number may vary. All right, because like different texts interpret the things in a different manner. So like according to this particular diagram, these are the major plates and the minor plates. Apart from this, if we move little further, okay, if we move little further, so now let us understand, although we have understood about plates, major plates and minor plates, but these plates are relatively moving. Okay, some plates are moving closer to one another, they are coming towards one another, they are known as convergent plates. Okay, and the boundaries between these plates are known as convergent boundaries, and at the same time some plates are going away from one another, that is known as divergent plate. Okay, and the boundary between these plates is known as divergent plate boundary. All right, so now let us understand what are convergent plate, what are divergent plate, and what are transform plates. Okay, so like these are the plate boundaries that are mentioned in this particular diagram that you can see here. Okay, so plate boundaries. So this is a convergent plate. So like there are 2 different plates. One plate is coming from this direction, other plate is coming from that direction. So they are coming towards one another. A plate that is relatively lighter, okay, that moves up, and a plate that is denser, that is dense, that moves down. Okay, so when we compare the continental plate and the oceanic plate, oceanic plates are denser and continental plates are lighter. So continental plates move up and the oceanic plates go down. All right, so that's the thing. So this is a convergent. The boundary between these two plates is known as convergent plate boundary. Okay, so a convergent plate boundary occurs when one plate subducts under another, or when 2 plates collide and push each other upwards. Okay, so this is a convergent plate. Okay, so when we talk about the second diagram, this is first diagram, it is about convergent plate boundary. Okay, convergent plate boundary. Second diagram that is shown over here, this is a divergent boundary, divergent plate boundary. Why? Because like we have 2 different plates and these plates are moving away from one another. Okay, so the plate 1 is moving away, plate 2 is moving away, so they are just going away from one another, so they are diverging, they are going away. So this is known as divergent plate boundary. The color that you can see over here, this is divergent plate boundary. Okay, so a divergent boundary occurs when plates pull apart and magma rises from the mantle to form a new lithosphere. Okay, so from the mantle, magma is rising and they are forming new lithosphere. Lithosphere means a sphere of the soil. So the thing is, like when the magma will rise, they will cool down. Okay, after they cool down, what will happen? Like the upper portion will turn into soil, rocks and all, slowly and gradually. Okay, so this is divergent plate boundary. Now if we talk about third one, okay, this is known as transform boundary. One plate is going this direction, other plate is going this direction. They are just sliding past one another. Means like they are sliding past one another. They are not moving towards each other, they are not moving away from each other, they are just sliding past one another. That is known as transform boundary or transform plate. Okay, so what is a transform boundary? A transform boundary is when plates slide past each other almost laterally. Laterally means like almost parallelly. Okay, so like one plate is moving like this, other plate like this. So you can see like this or you can see like this. So they are just moving parallel to one another. They are not, I mean like they are not colliding, they are not coming closer, they are not going away, but like they are just passing by one another. That is known as transform boundary. All right. So the thing is, this is about plate tectonics. So the thing is, the plate tectonics theory given by Harry Hess, he says that like that these plates, I mean like the earth is made up of different plates. Okay, some of the plates are denser plates, some of the plates are lighter plates because of the continuous movement of molten material inside the this thing, I mean like mantle. Okay, inside the mantle. So what happens, the plates keep on moving and they move very slowly. The rate is very slow, like very slow. So we cannot observe these things using our eye, but like if you compare the pictures after a few hundred years, then you will see ki some changes have happened. You might have seen the geological structure. Okay, if you see the geological time scale of the earth, you will understand that how the position of the continents has changed over the years. Years in the sense millions of years. So for that you need to refer geological time scale. So now we have understood about the plates. Okay, now we have understood about plate tectonics. So now let us see like the plates that we have seen in the first map. Some of the plates were major plates, other plates were minor plates, but like we did not discuss about like which boundary is divergent plate boundary, which boundary is convergent plate boundary. So I am going to share another map with you, another picture where like we will also discuss about which boundaries are convergent, which boundaries are divergent boundaries. Okay, so these plates are demarcated once again. So this is Eurasian plate. Okay, this is North American plate, this is South American plate. Okay, this is African plate. Then like we have Antarctic plate, we have Pacific plate. Okay, so these are major plates, and we also have the minor plates. Okay, Cocos plate, Juan de Fuca plate, Philippine plate. Okay, then like we have Nazca plate. So these are Scotia plate. These are minor plates. Okay, so here in this particular diagram there is some color coding. Okay, so what is that color coding? The plates, okay, the boundaries that are demarcated using this particular light blue color, light blue or greenish color. Okay, light blue color, this is divergent plate boundary. Divergent means the plates, okay, are moving away from one another, from this particular boundary. Okay, they are moving away from one another. For example, like here we have divergent plate boundaries. Okay, this is divergent plate boundary, this is divergent plate boundary, like that. And at the same time we have convergent plate boundary also. So convergent plate boundaries are demarcated using dark blue color. So the dark blue color that you can see over here, this one, it is a convergent this plate boundary. If you see the this particular Eurasian plate over here, like Indian plate, so it is the direction that is the color that is shown over here, this is dark blue. It means like it is a convergent plate boundary. So Indian plate is moving towards the Eurasian plate. So like these plates are converging. All right, this is convergent plate boundary. Apart from this, we have transform plate boundary, means like where the plates are passing past one another, they are sliding past one another. So these are transform plate boundaries. So this color is little different. So you can see this particular this is transform plate boundary. So like there are this is transform plate boundary and all. So I hope it might have given you some insights about plate tectonics theory. You need to read in detail to learn more about it. All right. So now let us move to the next topic. This topic is important. This topic says transition troubles. Okay, this is transition troubles. So what is that transition trouble? The thing is like this article talks about the military coup in Sudan. Okay, So what has happened, Sudan is a very recent democracy. I mean, like, Sudan is a country that has got its democratic status very recently, okay, in the year of 2017. Okay, so it has got this particular thing, the democracy, very recently in 2019. Okay, so in 2019, protesters have toppled the autocratic or authoritative regime, and like they established democratic government in the year of 2019. But what has happened, just within 2 years, the democratically established government, okay, was again toppled by the military. Okay, so it was toppled by the military. So there is a history also, they have mentioned in detail about like what were the courses of incidents that has happened. Okay, initially there was a authoritative government. I mean, like, there was dictatorship. Later on, like, people have rebelled against it. They have tried to topple that particular authoritative regime. So like so there was a power agreement. So like they started thinking towards transitioning the government, okay, to make it democracy. So that interim arrangement was done at that point of time. Now this was the time that they had to finally transfer power to the democracy. But the thing is, the military, I mean, like, the military general over there, what he has done, he has taken into custody the prime minister, and after taking into custody, what he has done is like he has taken all the democratic institutions like the parliament, the constitution building, everything, okay, under its control, and they have declared like we are going to again have this particular thing. But just within 1 month, okay, just within 1 month, because of international pressure, because of people again raising their voice and protesting in the streets against that particular authoritative regime, so they have decided like they will give back power to the so that democratic government can be established over there. So there has been turmoil in this particular country, Sudan. Okay, Sudan is a very recent democracy, and now there is power shift is being seen there. But the thing is, people still do not believe the like army general and the military over there, because like they can anytime they can change their stand, they can change their position. So where is Sudan located? Sudan is a country in the continent of Africa. Okay, so Sudan is in the continent of Africa. So this is the location of Sudan. Okay, this is the location of Sudan, you can see over here. So when we talk about Sudan, so like, is it let us discuss something related to prelims. Does the Tropic of Cancer passes through Sudan? No, it does not pass through Sudan. You can see, like it does not pass through Sudan. So Sudan is to the south of Tropic of Cancer. Does Sudan touch the border of Red Sea? Yes, it touches the border of Red Sea. Okay, this is Red Sea, you can see. So Sudan touches touches the coastline of Red Sea. Okay, apart from this, how many countries is Sudan surrounded with? Okay, how many countries? So this is one country, this is second country, this is third country, this is fourth, this is fifth, and this is sixth, and this is seventh. So Sudan is surrounded by 7 countries, and it has a coastline with Red Sea. Okay, it is surrounded with 7 countries. So I will just number them again so that like you find it easy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it is surrounded by 7 countries. Alright, so this is Sudan. Now we have understood about the map of Sudan. So like, if I ask you what are the name of the countries that border Sudan, so you have to find out the names over here. So names are not mentioned over here, but a person who has gone through the maps again and again, he must remember these things. But like, I'll show you these things. So there were 2 articles today based on same topic, I mean similar topic, in editorial section itself. So in editorial section, there was a smaller article that I have discussed earlier, and this was a bigger article, okay, in the editorial section to the lower portion. Let's consider this is page number 6. In the lower, half portion, this was the article there, okay. So it says, coups upend West Asia's nascent democracies, okay. So here in this article, they are talking about 2 different countries. One of the countries Tunisia, second country is Sudan. Okay, so we discussed about Sudan in the previous article. Now we are going to discuss about Tunisia also. So what has happened in Tunisia? In Tunisia, like people started protesting against the authoritative regime. They started protesting in the year of 2010, and by the year of 2014 they were able to establish a democratic government there. Okay, after establishing democratic government, they have been working fine, but recently there was a upsurge in the sense upsurge not by the people, but the thing is the military and all, they have toppled the democratic government over there. So Tunisia is again an example. So where is Tunisia located? It is also located in the continent of Africa. Okay, so this is the map of Africa. If you go to the top top side of Africa, so this is Tunisia. You see, this is Tunisia. Okay, so this is the map of Tunisia, and Tunisia has a border with Mediterranean Sea. We discussed about Sudan, so it had a border with Red Sea. But Tunisia has a border with Mediterranean Sea. So here to the right corner of this particular screen, you can see this is the map of Tunisia. So Tunisia is on the top, northern portion of African continent, but this is the map of Tunisia. So it has coastline with the Mediterranean Sea. All right. So how many countries does it have border with? It has border with Algeria, and it has border with Libya. Okay, so it has border with only two countries, Tunisia. All right. So in Tunisia also there was another coup. Okay, so that particular article was divided into different portions. They have discussed about the recent developments in these two countries, Tunisia and Sudan. Then the author has also talked about the coup in Tunisia. Then he has also discussed about takeover in Sudan. And he has also discussed about the role of Gulf monarchies. See, these countries were earlier monarchies, or they were under authoritative regime. There was no democracy, but people have protested against it, and they established democratic government meanwhile. But the thing is, this particular activity will not be liked by those people who also have the authoritative regime. For example, if I talk about Saudi Arabia, if I talk about United Arab Emirates, if I talk about Egypt, so these are the countries that have that have this monarchies. Okay, so these monarchies will support the brotherhood. Brotherhood means the countries having the similar kind of government. All right. So this was in news, so multiple things are there associated with it. We don't need to go in detail about how the courses of event happened in these countries. That's not important for us, because it is not directly related with UPSC. So it is not affecting the what we say Indian foreign policy to a greater extent. There might be some of the diplomatic things, some of the economic things, but it's not affecting that much. All right, so this is the thing. Now you need to focus on the mapping related concepts related to these countries. Okay, mapping I have already discussed about it. Okay, thank you so much. So I'll be sharing this particular PPT, so you can work on the maps that are mentioned over here. Okay, now we have another topic, that is facts for prelims. Okay, although it is a topic from international relations, but there is a fact for prelim, so I'll discuss about it. So what has happened? The United Nations has raised $600 million for Afghanistan aid. You know that recently the Taliban has taken over the control of Afghanistan. But the thing is, during the last 20 years, the economic stability of Afghanistan was under turmoil. So economy was not growing much. And now people are facing huge difficulties. Half of the people in Afghanistan faces the threat of food security. Okay, half of the people faces the threat of food security in Afghanistan. So this is the responsibility of the international community to look for providing food security for the people of Afghanistan. So for that purpose, the United Nations organization had started a campaign to raise funds so that they can support the people of Afghanistan, in securing their food security. All right. So that particular this particular initiative was taken by the United Nations organization, and there were many countries who have funded this particular this particular project. Now they have reported that they have collected 100% funding for this particular project. And so the UN humanitarian agency, which is known as OCHA, okay, they have made it clear, okay, organization OCHA, so you need to find out its name. So the main donors for this purpose were the United States of America, European countries and Japan. Okay, so they together helped the United Nations organization to raise funds for supporting the people and securing their food security in Afghanistan. Okay, that's all about this particular topic. You should look forward to know more about the United Nations organization, the reports that are published by different agencies of the United Nations organization, because many a times you can find direct questions from the reports. Like in the beginning also there was an article today related to United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, right? So FAO also releases report every year. Okay, so like they come up with multiple reports. You need to keep track on the most highlighted reports, the most important ones, not all the reports. All right, so there are multiple special agencies of the United Nations organization. So now let us take a prelims practice question for the day. Okay, so this is the topic, which is prelims practice question. So this question was asked in the year of 2021 in the prelims examination, and let us read this question. It says the common carbon metric supported by the United Nations Environment Program has been developed for, okay, so UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. You have today we read about Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN. Then UN Women, lot of organizations are in news, okay, from the United Nations. So it is important that we keep a track of the important reports released by these special agencies. Okay, so the common carbon metric supported by the United Nations Environment Program has been developed for. Now they are asking like for which purpose they have developed common carbon metric. They have given multiple statements. One of the statement is assessing the carbon footprint for building operations around the world. Okay, then enabling commercial farming entities around the world to enter carbon emission trading, enabling government to assess the overall carbon footprint caused by their countries. So like they have given multiple statements, but what is the right statement? The right statement is option A. So the purpose of developing common carbon metric is for assessing the carbon footprint for building operations around the world. How do we get information about it? There was a report released by the United Nations organization recently. Okay, it's not very old, it's not very new also, about a year. They have released this particular report, and this was the front page of that report. The front page of that report. Okay, so front page says common carbon metric. Okay, the moment you search common carbon metric, you will come across this report having huge pages. You don't have to go through and read all of it. See, common carbon metric is written now for measuring energy use and reporting greenhouse gas emission from building operations. You see, building operations. Why they have developed common carbon metric? For measuring energy use and reporting greenhouse gas emissions from building operations. See option A, assessing the carbon footprint for building operations around the world. Okay, so that's the thing. So the first page itself, just seeing this particular thing, you are able to answer this question, and it is it is supported by the United Nations Environment Program. Okay, Sustainable Buildings and Climate Initiative. So this is the thing. I mean, like the first page of the report will help you to answer this particular question. Similarly, you may get questions on similar trend in the coming years also. So you should keep a track of the new developments coming, new reports coming from these important agencies. Like United Nations Environment Program is an important agency. Similarly, Food and Agricultural Organization is an important agency. So there are multiple important agencies. You just need to keep a track of the reports released by these agencies. So that's all that I had to discuss with you for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending this session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.